So today's Workshop Wednesday, what we're cooking for you is we are going to show a French manicure with gel polish. So we've done it with dip powder in the past, and now we're going to show you with our gels, considering we're getting some fun gels in our line. One of those gels is going to be, we are getting white and we're getting black. So today we're going to use our white. That's coming. This is just our sample. And then we're also going to have a tray just in case we need to dump any liquid on there. And then we're going to have a little container of acetone. And then I have a couple different brushes that we're going to use today to test this out for you all. And then I'll show you an example finger we did already. So this will be the finished product, and this will be a little bit lighter of a smile. And we're going to walk you through that right now. All right, so to get started, make sure you wipe off your brush and you're not going to get too much liquid on there. Then from there, you're just going to decide, it's okay if you go a little further than where you want the smile line because you're going to end up cleaning that up. So just decide, I might go a little further on the sides where I know I want a little smile. And then also don't be concerned if you get it on the skin because we can wipe that off. And don't worry if your smile is perfect because it's not going to be. I'm going to use the tool to do that. Okay. So just get that polish on there real good. I think I might have done a little too heavy on the polish, but that's all right. I'm going to dip it in here, get some of that acetone, not too much. Then I'm going to come right through here and I'm just going to start to clean up the shape that I want. Okay, probably could go a little more for a curve. I want a little more of a curve. And that's okay. I can see a little more right there. My last one was just one perfect swoop, but that's okay. It doesn't dry, so just decide what you want. Awesome. Then from there, I'm gonna clean up before we cure it. We're gonna go ahead and get it off the skin. Now, if you're nervous that you may touch your nails in between and make a mess, go ahead and just cure it when you're done. We'll probably just cure it because we're talking and I don't want to mess up any of our nails. So in a second here, we're gonna cure it, but we're gonna end up doing 2 coats. So you can go through, sorry guys, I know you're on film here. Still I'm thinking I want a little more. Okay, and then of course I got a little there, but it's not a big deal. Try to get it all off the skin before you cure it because then it'll be nice and easy. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and cure that just because we're talking. I don't wanna mess up the rest of the fingers. All right, it's out of the light. We're gonna go ahead and show you second coat. So the second coat, I'm gonna make sure it's a little thinner for, hopefully I'm in the camera there. Okay, so second coat, don't worry again. Go ahead and try to just follow it, but even if you don't, it's not the end of the world because we're gonna still use that brush one more time to clean up again. Okay, and then of course, make sure you cap the edge. Okay, and this time I'm gonna show you, we're gonna use a little bit wider brush just to show you the difference, and you can always decide. I have quite a few brushes. Which brush do you like the best? Which one's gonna give you the best outcome? And then from there, you're just gonna go ahead and nice and pretty little curl. That one didn't get the middle, so I'm gonna go back to my little guy. Whoops. And I'm just gonna go ahead and just a nice, okay, perfect. Then from there, clean up that skin again. As you get used to it, you probably won't get as much on the skin, but like I said, it's not a big deal. Okay. All right, we're done with that one, and then we're gonna go to the next one and finish this off. Again, that second coat, a thin layer this time. You don't need as much. nice thin layer, spreading evenly. Okay, I'm gonna stick with the smaller one. The big one just seemed to have too many gaps in the bristles, and then it wasn't closing in on that line, which I didn't like. So here, you're gonna go to the side. You're just gonna shape how you'd want your little curl. See, that's much better. Much better. And then you're gonna come to the side and maybe just swipe in there. And I like the way it went down a little more on this side, so I'm probably gonna chance it and try to do a little bit on my own with gel polish. So this is where I'll show you guys how we could do it on here. So this is where you would use your little thing. So I'm gonna put a little palette there. Okay. And then I'm gonna grab just a tiny bit off of here. And I'm gonna turn the finger to the side, and I'm just gonna try to give a little bit more of a smile. Just a tiny dab. Okay. Then I'm gonna go back and clean that up on the skin. And then from there, I'm probably gonna use this just to smooth out those little lumps that I just created, but I'm gonna get as much as I can off of the gel polish. And then this is just gonna be a nice little clean swipe just to blend it out. And then when we put the clear top coat on, it'll look fine. Okay. And this is me just being picky. Okay, and now I'm gonna come back in and try to make sure that looks nice and tight in that corner. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna stick those both in the light. All right, so we got it out of the light. We did 2 coats and we think that's perfect. So we're gonna start off. We are gonna use a base coat to get started. And the reason why is because we had done these nails yesterday and wiped off all the top coat. Oops, sorry. Excuse me, I did not wiped off the top coat. We just wanna make sure that these are gonna adhere really good since they're not sticky anymore. So we are going to start with a base coat and then a top coat to secure. You don't necessarily have to do that, but that's what we're gonna do. So base coat first. And I saw in that corner it wasn't, oh shoot, somehow it wasn't fully dried. That's okay, not a big deal. This is probably good, this is on film. How do we clean this up? I'm just gonna quickly get this, and I'm just gonna use the brush to wipe off the gel. And we're gonna re-cure that white. Must not have been fully dry. Okay, so we have to go back and use a tiny bit of this to go ahead and, well, it had a base coat on there, so I'm a little nervous. Hold on a second. I'm gonna try to use this to level out that first. Oh shoot, that must not have dried. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and just wipe this off as a whole and restart. Let me cure this one and we'll come back. Should I not cure that? Okay, so we are going to go ahead, use some acetone. It's okay, we wanna show you mistakes happen. How do you fix them? We are going to get that first layer off. I think what happened, which is really important, and I actually said it in the video and noticed it, I think it was a little too thick a polish. I know it was. And then this is what ended up happening. I'm using acetone to scrape all this off, okay? But this is why we had a top coat on first, or last night. So today, if there was any mistakes, we could just clean it right up. All right. So, nice clean surface. Okay. Get a fresh cotton ball. Okay, I'm going to use a non-lint cloth to get anything else so I don't get any more little fuzzies. Okay. All right, we're going to do this again. Well, there you go. At least we show you how to take it off. You just take it off and then we're just going to redo it. Not a big deal. Okay, so we're going to tackle this one more time. Guess things don't always land the way you want them to. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just show you one more and then we'll finish the rest on our own, but that way you can have some sort of reference. So I got to make sure that I wiped the bottle and got as much off as I could because it was a little too thick. That's where we went wrong. Let's see, I'm making sure it's thin this time. Okay, going right into here, getting some acetone, and then just trying to find my shape. Clean up the sides. There's a little bit of gap there. I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm just gonna go ahead and cure it because I think if I add more, I can end up making it too thick. So I'll just fix it second round. So we're gonna go ahead and cure this to show you that. All right, so it's out of the light. We're gonna do that second set of polish. I'm gonna make sure it's really thin. Okay, so I'm gonna start, there we go. I saw that there was that little lumpy, but I wasn't worried because I knew I was gonna come in with a second coat and then making sure it was really thin that second time. And I'm not worried I went a little high because I'll just fix it. I just wanna make sure that the end is smooth because that'll be the big thing. Okay, so I'm gonna put the brush in acetone. And then again, I'm gonna come through here and I'm just gonna shape what we want. And you can decide how curvy you want it, or if you want it a little softer, it's really up to you. Okay. That's perfect. So see, we fixed it. So this time we're gonna make sure, well, I don't think it had anything to do with light timing. It had to do with the fact that we had too much product on and didn't have enough time to dry. All right, so now we're gonna put this in the light for 60 seconds and we'll see you when we're done. All right, so we're done there. So we are gonna go right into a base coat like we talked about earlier. I'm gonna actually wipe off my brush. I just noticed that it had a little bit of white from the last time it wasn't dry, so don't want to contaminate it. And then usually what I like to do, especially knowing we had that issue last time, is just make sure that it's a little more, you have a, sorry, I saw a little more white. Just want to make sure my brush is completely non-contaminated. Use a little extra is what I was going to say, to drive over the white product, so that way if by any chance we had any issues, we don't smear it again. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, dry this, and we'll come back. All right, and the grand finale part, so we did the base coat and now we're doing the top coat. And we actually did the top coat on that one, so that one didn't smear. So we're good on this. All right, we'll put this in the light. We'll finish up the rest and then we'll show you the finished product. Okay, so we finished the whole, both the hands. The second hand actually went really smooth. I got the hang of it and just got through each one of them. We did add some cuticle oil and Elsa decided to add a little bit of glitter. So we used our Sundera disco ball It's a really pretty silver hologram. You can see it's a very, it looks like it's like maybe clear, but there's a tiny, tiny, really faint silver and then some big chunky glitters in there. And we are all done. Thank you so much for watching.